new video. It's a reaction video about the biggest cheaters in sporting history. So let's get straight into it.
When the world gets together, what are we best at? Cheating, of course. Look at every international organization. They are all more shifty than a semi-truck racing on a road course.
That's true.
The Olympics are no exception. There are so many absurd scandals in the name of international competition, it's almost like they're trying to see who's best at cheating.
Oh, yes.
Well, today, they get their wish. The Olympics' most cheatingest moments are coming up right after this. This video...
Cool, guys. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to this channel.
Nero pulled a
like
Kim
button.
Jong-il, or is it and injected himself into the games. After delaying them a full year so he could prepare, Nero added his own events, all of which he won, including playing the lyre and singing. He also participated in the chariot race, and even though he got thrown from his ride, he was still awarded the W on the basis that he would have won it had he not been ejected from the basket. So that's what thinking like a Yankee fan is like. After he died, his name was removed from all the winner lists, but unfortunately not from history.
Look at that, cheating goes right back
Forged
to
from fire.
them days.
In 1968, East German Orton Enderlin was set to win the gold medal in the luge and put a Cold War dub in the communist column. But after a run, she was disqualified when upon inspection of her sled, something was off. When the official poured snow on the runners, they steamed and hissed, and a conclusion was reached that Enderlin had heated them up, and the DQ was issued. I guess we're assuming no amount of leg rubbing makes them hiss. It gets even better, as the DQ kicked off an ensuing shitstorm in the West German media, and years later it was alleged that the official who saw the steaming runners had been bribed. That has never been confirmed or fully denied. Trying to win by losing. In 2012 at the London Olympics, a shocking sport was rocked with scandal. Badminton, yes, the one with the skinny rackets and tiny cocks, shuttlecocks. 8 doubles players from South Korea, China, and Indonesia were disqualified for purposely throwing matches in order to manipulate their seeding headed into the medal round. Spectators there picked up that the players were trying to lose and began booing the participants. There's gotta be a better way to do tournaments. My kingdom. If badminton is rocked by cheating, know this: in the Olympics, scandals have no boundaries. Like in 2008 when Norwegian equestrian participant Tony Hansen drugged himself and his fucking horse. After winning a bronze medal in team jumping, Hansen failed a doping test. Then they tested the animal and the poor show mule failed too. Norway was stripped of their bronze and Hansen appealed and was denied. I guess he wanted to get his horse that bronze medal he always wanted. Little League style cheating. At the 2000 games, Dong Fengxiao's strong performance helped the Chinese gymnastics teams win a bronze medal. If she looks like she's not even a teenager at the time, she's most likely not. Dong had listed her date of birth as January 20th, 1983, but conflicting information had her actual date of birth as January 23rd, 1986, which would have made her 14 at the Olympics. You need to be at least 16 to be subjected to that kind of ridiculous pressure. Dong was disqualified and China was stripped of their bronze. Dong did not participate in the 2004 Olympics when she was 18 because apparently that's an old hag in the gymnastics world. Self-admission. Is it cheating if you don't get caught, admit you did it, and then still not have to face any repercussions? When South African Cameron Vanderberg won the 100-meter breaststroke gold medal in 2012, he committed an act that sounds very triggering to PETA. He used 3 dolphin kicks, which are illegal. He also set a world record at the time. Who knew that using what sounds like a euphemism for tossing off was so effective? After his win, he self-admitted to using the illegal strokes. Hey now, and video replay confirmed it. That also sounded bad. Though his medal is not at stake, new replay rules were put in place to prevent illegal underwater behavior. On the fence. Okay, badminton, equestrian, fencing? Come on, man. In 1976, Russian Boris Onashenko used technology to his advantage. Apparently, in modern fencing, they have sensors to detect when a person has been hit instead of the old-fashioned method of, blood. Well, Boris had figured out a way to rig his epi to register a touch without it actually making contact. Brit Jim Fox had noticed this during their match, and a subsequent inspection revealed the rigged device. Onashenko, dubbed Dis-Onashenko by the dad-joking British media, was DQ'd. Russia had to pull out of the team competition, and Jim Fox went on to win the gold. First time? With a name like Hans-Gunnar Ligenwall, this guy was headed for legendary status. A Swedish pentathlete in the 68 games, he would become the first ever participant to be DQ'd for a banned substance. The foreign contaminant, 2 beers he chugged before the pistol shooting event. Really? Sweden was DQ'd and lost their bronze, and Hans Gunnar gets a gold medal in f***ing awesome in my book. Uber cheating. It's 1904 and American Fred Lords is running the marathon. 9 miles in, he's spent, exhausted, done. Then his manager pulls up in one of those newfangled horseless carriages, drives him 11 miles, he gets a second wind and he breaks the tape to win the gold. Yes, there are more cheating instances after this one. Lors grew conscious and admitted he cheated, and Thomas Hicks was declared the winner. Lors was banned for a short time period, but then reinstated in a rare instance where honesty paid off. Yes, no, maybe so. In 2000, the U.S. dominated the 4x400 relay, with sprinters like Michael Johnson and Antonio Pettigrew on the squad. Unfortunately, Jerome Young, who ran in the heats but not the final, tested positive for doping, and the whole 6-man team was stripped of their medals. But after an appeal in 2005, the medals were restored, finding that if the doper wasn't in the final, the whole team shouldn't be DQ'd. But then in 2008, Pettigrew admitted to doping from 1997 to 2003, and the team was again stripped of the medals, this time properly. Damn, son. Double vision. In 1984, Puerto Rican sprinter Madeline De Jesus was tired in the 4x400 relay and needed to take the next race off in order to participate in the finals. Her solution? Send in her identical twin sister to run her heat. Well, it worked, and the team advanced. Until their coach wasn't fooled, got pissed off about it, and pulled the team from the quarters. I'm willing to bet the De Jesus twins used to go on dates for each other and do clever identical twin stuff. More mistaken identity. Before I get into this, let me explain modern pentathlon to you. Its events are designed for what a foot soldier would need to do during training. So if you've never heard of the Tunisian army, well, get a load of this story. In 1960, they sent a team to compete in the 5-sport event. Horse riding didn't go so well, as all 3 fell off their horses, logging a score of 0. In swimming, they received a score of 1260. Impressive since they could barely swim and all almost f***ing drown. Shooting, well, they did okay, but would have finished higher if one guy didn't almost shoot an official. I am not making this up. Finally, fencing came in, and I guess only one of their guys could fence, so they sent him up there 3 consecutive times, hoping the officials wouldn't notice. They did, and they were DQ'd from that event. They were probably watching close to make sure they didn't get stabbed. The Tunisian final score of 5,126, when terrible teams score in the 10,000s, is widely regarded as one of the worst Olympic performances ever. Well, until we get further down this list. Daedalus. Cheating is one thing. It's another to have an award-winning documentary categorically outlining exactly how you cheated the system. Documented from 2008 on, whistleblower and man who is probably hiding in a cave somewhere, Grigory Rodchenkov documented the rampant doping that Russia was participating in, which included swapping out samples, and allegedly went all the way to the top of their hierarchy, with Vladimir Putin either having direct involvement or direct knowledge of the scandal. The Russians were stripped of 43 medals and in 2018 had to compete under a different name. Okay, that showed them. Before we get to the number 1, here are some other incidents I have already covered in previous videos. The 2000 Spanish Paralympic basketball team that won gold was not actually disabled. Ben Johnson was doped to the gills in 1988 and was stripped of his gold medal and world record, even though pretty much everyone else was doping. In 2002, a judge fixed the ice dancing competition to screw the Canadians and give gold to the Russians. And in 1988, Roy Jones Jr. was robbed of a gold medal after he basically beat the ever-living shit out of Park Si-hun the entire match, but somehow didn't win. And now for the #1 most cheatingest Olympic moment. The woman who scammed her way to the Olympics. American Elizabeth Swaney always had a dream, and that was to scam her way to the Olympics and represent a European country in a sport she wasn't even good at. Swaney, who was born in Oakland, California, decided that she wanted to participate in the 2018 Winter Olympics because, hey, who wouldn't want a free trip to South Korea and pretend to be an athlete? Despite there being minimum qualification standards, Swaney picked a sport she knew she could do. Well, not actually. Freestyle half-pipe skiing requires a lot of skill as the goal is to pull off difficult aerials and 360s. But in order to get a minimum score, all you need to do is not fall down. And that's what Swaney did for 2 years, simply using her minimal skiing ability to coast down the half-pipe and garner qualification points. Representing her grandparents' native land of Hungary, Swaney used loopholes and luck and qualified for the Olympics. When she got there, she did what she did best. She skied down the halfpipe and didn't do a single trick. Though everyone called her performance a mockery, Canadian gold medalist Cassie Sharpe said she deserved to be there. I guess the Olympics are handing out participation trophies now too. Screw it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to check out the sponsor.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. This is our first video, so make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for a lot more videos to come.